Slava Isusu Christu, praise Jesus Christ. Well, welcome again to the Ukrainian Mountaintop Podcast, or our little gospel sense. I'm Father Ivan. Thank you for joining me. Let's take a few moments to step away from the noise of daily life and reflect on the gospel's wisdom together. I hope it makes sense to you. It did to me. Well, what's today's topic? Today's topic is God is a hedonist at heart. Unusual. There's a quotation from C.S. Lewis, who wrote in his book that God gives us so many pleasures that he has to be a hedonist in the best sense of the words. So let's go to C.S. Lewis's work, The Screwtape Letters. It's about an old devil who's teaching a young devil how to tempt people. And this is what the older devil says. God is a hedonist at heart. All those fasts and vigils and stakes and crosses are only a facade, or only like foam on the seashore. Out at sea, out at his sea, there is pleasure and more pleasure. He makes no secret of it. At his right hand are pleasures forever. Ugh! I don't think he has the least inkling of that high and austere mystery to which we devils rise. He's vulgar. Wormwood is the baby devil. He has a bourgeois mind, God. He has filled his world full of pleasure. There are things for humans to do all day long without his minding in the least. Sleeping, washing, eating, drinking, making love, playing, praying, working. Everything has to be twisted before it's any use to us. We fight under cruel disadvantages. Nothing is naturally on our side. And that's the end of the quotation. People may find it funny because hedonism is so often used, obviously, in the wrong sense, where a person is too much tied to pleasure and not enough to doing their work or being focused on life itself. Well, here, obviously, there's a few liberties in literature, but C.S. Lewis, in his work, The Screwtape Letters, and I recommend it to you, really has a deep truth. God gives us so many good things, but if we abuse it, in other words, if we go through life not as a gourmet, but as a glutton, if we say, well, chocolate is good, then eating 30 pounds of chocolate must be great. Oh, sleeping is good for 8 to 10 hours, but if I sleep all day, it's got to be even better. If we twist things out of proportion, if sleeping or eating or anything else sort of overcomes our life and becomes the goal, then pleasure can really ruin our focus. But it's very important to remember that God made us for happiness and joy. When the angel comes to Mary, in Latin it says Ave Maria, but really in Greek it's Chaire. The angel says to Mary, rejoice. Jesus, when he meets his apostle, he often says, peace be with you, or he also says, rejoice. So the gospel, unlike what some people may think or perceive it, is a gospel of joy. In fact, gospel itself means the good news, the Evangelia. Evangelia are two Greek words, which means good news. And so God's good news is this. There are many pleasures associated with really living a good life, with having a good conscience, sleeping, eating, drinking, all in good measure. So there's an old axiom in Greek philosophy, the middle way. Always measure what you do. Always remember, virtue stands in the middle. Not too much, not too little. So hopefully this will make sense for you, that never think that following the gospel or following Jesus' teaching, you are being deprived of joy or pleasure. All good pleasure builds human character. And there's plenty enough pleasure for all of us in this world and even in the work that we do each day. Let's enjoy that and thank the God who gives us joy. In fact, when he was born, what's that famous Christmas carol? Joy to the world. May you find joy in your life, and I hope this might bring you a little bit of clarity about pleasure, about responsibility, and about the good news, which is the gospel.